If you've been wondering where two of the most famous sisters in the world have been since they stopped making movies together, you're probably not alone. Here's why you don't hear very much about the Olsen twins anymore. If you grew up watching Full House, you're definitely familiar with the Olsen twins' first big role, but you might not realize just how young they were when they got started. After both Mary-Kate and Ashley were cast to play the family's most adorable member, Michelle, at just 6 months old, they became stars thanks to the show's enduring popularity and overwhelming affection for the character.
I've been on Full House forever.
However, since the twins started so young, they didn't really get to choose their careers. Full House was a great opportunity for Mary-Kate and Ashley, but it makes sense that they eventually retired in favor of other pursuits. Whether or not Mary-Kate and Ashley got the chance to choose their childhood profession, there's no denying that their tenure as actresses was insanely lucrative.
My favorite thing is eating a cake.
After they got older, Mary-Kate and Ashley launched Dual Star Entertainment, spawning a fan club that served as a subscription site and as the backbone to the twins' growing media empire. In 2007, the Olsens even joined powerhouses like talk show host Oprah Winfrey on the Forbes ranking of the wealthiest women in entertainment, with the publication estimating their net worth at $100 million and noting that Dual Star sold, quote, $1 billion worth of merchandise worldwide in a year, everything from videos to hair care products. At the time, the twins were just 20 years old. Making their fortune at a seriously young age enabled them to step out of the limelight fairly early. It might seem a little crazy that Mary-Kate and Ashley were raking in literal billions before they could legally drink, but when you consider just how hard the twins worked throughout their acting career, you'll understand why. After Full House, the two embarked on a series of features, television films, and direct-to-video releases throughout the 1990s. All told, the twins appeared in 27 projects between 1992 and 2004. However, 2004 brought an end to their joint acting careers with New York Minute, their second theatrical release. Ultimately, the film performed poorly, both critically and commercially, having one of the lowest openings of all time, which wasn't exactly a favorable conclusion to the girls' acting career. The Olsens were two of the most famous young women in the world throughout their childhood and adolescence. However, it should come as no surprise that this fame came with some serious drawbacks, specifically some very gross objectification. In June of 2019, writer Yomi Adegoke penned a piece about men in dark corners of the internet who, quote, count down until young women turn 18 and become legal, mentioning the Olsen twins as an example. Mary-Kate and Ashley had grown up on camera, from their casting in Full House at just 6 months old onward. Adegoke wrote, "Men patiently waiting until they hit puberty and their fantasies made the switch from perverse to pedestrian made me feel queasy." Adegoke spends the rest of her essay detailing the seriously damaging implications of this upsetting trend, which was potentially harmful to the Olsens and may have played a role in their decision to leave acting. In the years since New York Minute flopped at the box office, the Olsens have found solace and success in an entirely new venture in the world of high fashion. In 2006, the twins launched The Row. The brand was the result of Ashley's goal to create the perfect white t-shirt. However, the two preferred to let the clothes speak for themselves and didn't even do a public interview about The Row for several years after its debut.
It's not a trend-based brand. It's really about what these women want to be wearing every day.
The Row, which the Olsens still own and manage alongside lines like Elizabeth and James, a concept named for their siblings, has won several awards. It even took home the highest honor of the Council of the Fashion Designers of America, the Women's Wear Designer of the Year award, 2 years in a row. In 2018, the Olsens announced that The Row would launch a menswear line complete with knits, suits, and denim. Why return to acting when you've got a successful fashion collection? In the absence of their acting career, both Mary-Kate and Ashley have been pretty focused on becoming fashion mavens. However, throughout the years, Mary-Kate has struck out on her own to debut a talent that she doesn't seem to share with her twin, horseback riding. According to Pop Sugar, Mary-Kate was spotted in September of 2016 competing in the annual American Gold Cup, which is held at the Old Salem Farm in New York. The publication reported that Mary-Kate rode 3 different horses during the event, which is considered one of the most renowned show-jumping events in the world. By that point, Mary-Kate had been riding horses competitively for 3 years and had been photographed riding recreationally in places like the Hamptons. It seems like this hobby holds more interest for Mary-Kate than acting, and she's clearly talented if she made it into this famous event. Though it might seem like the Olsens do just about everything together, you might not realize that after one twin stopped acting entirely, the other stayed on screen for just a little while longer. After Ashley stopped acting, Mary-Kate continued, appearing in projects like the critically panned 2011 film Beastly. However, in 2012, the twins told LUK that they were out of the game for good. As Mary-Kate told the magazine, it just felt right to move away from the spotlight. Meanwhile, Ashley said, "I don't have to be a pretty face, I've done that, but now it's important and liberating to be on the other side of the lens. I don't like to be the center of attention anymore." She added that she's still interested in Hollywood, but that if she ever returned, it wouldn't be as an actress. The two clearly found their bliss elsewhere, and with each other. Mary-Kate told Elle, "Nothing would ever split us up. Separate side projects are one thing, but we work better as a team." Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more Looper videos about your favorite stuff are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.